This is the plaintiff, Marcia Vanderhayden. She says she's known the defendant for a lifetime and can't believe she finds herself here in court with her today. The defendant owes her money for caring for some cats she left at her house. She also owes her for vet bills she was forced to pay because she's an animal lover and needed to do the right thing. Bottom line, she's here suing her good friend for the $1,075.51 she's owed. This is the defendant, Diana. She says the plaintiff was only an acquaintance of hers who took the cats in because she wanted them. She's acting like these cats were hers, which they weren't. They were the plaintiff's. Bottom line, she can't believe the plaintiff's actually coming after her in court. But if that's what she's gonna do, then bring it on. She's accused of letting the fur fly.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant owes her for caring for some cats, but the defendant says the plaintiff took the cats in because she wanted them. It's the case of cat got your wallet.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
Marcia Vanderhayden, you are suing your neighbor, Diana. You've asked us not to mention your last name for $1,075.51 that you say she owes you for care and maintenance of cats. Tell me what happened here.
I know Diana for decades, actually. She happened to work in the neighborhood where I live, and we would see each other, and over time we realized that we had a common interest in pets. So anyway, she was feeding a cat. She lives in Astoria, and she was feeding this cat in her backyard.
In Astoria?
Yes.
That's where I was born.
I know. So I had told her that she needed to work with Neighborhood Cats, which is a not-for-profit, to get the cat spayed, which she did not do.
And then one day she contacts you and she tells you that the cat that she's been feeding that's in her yard is pregnant?
Yes.
All right, and what do you say?
It was a little late to get the cat fixed at that point in time. So anyway, the cat gave birth, and she had put a box in her backyard, so that's where the cat and the kittens, the mother and the kittens, were. And she called me, I think it was the next day from when they were born, that there was a possum in the backyard.
There was a possum in the backyard, and you were worried that the possum was going to eat the babies.
Correct.
And you didn't bring them into your house. Why?
I'm allergic to cats.
Okay, for a person who's allergic to cats, you spend an awful lot of time fussing with the cat in the backyard.
Yes, I've had cats come in and out of that backyard, and I feed them.
All right, so you call her because you know she knows a lot about pets?
Because this possum showed up one evening. The kittens were just born like 24 hours ago, 48 hours. I call her up. I said, Marcia, there's a possum in my yard. I have a neighbor who says it's coming to eat the kittens. Is that true? She says, Diana, bring them. She said it twice. I said, I'm not calling. I just want to know if it's going to eat the kittens. Is it true? She just bring them to me. Following day, immediately, took them, mother and the 3 kittens, over to Marcia. I said I was eternally grateful. Thank you, because she pulled on my heartstrings, this cat. Cats come in and out, like I said, but this particular cat pulled on my heartstrings because she would, like, rub against me and all that stuff, and I fell in love with her.
Right.
So when I called Marcia...
Forbidden love.
When I called Marcia, I said to her I would help her out with getting the cats. I'm going to help getting the cats adopted if I can, and I would help feed the cats for 1 year. I feel I made my commitment for that 1 year.
What did you do during that 1 year?
This happened in April.
Did you ever say you would pay 50% of the expenses?
Never did.
All right. Is there anything in writing between the two of you, emails or texts, before, listen to what I'm saying, before the problems happen? So I mean either before you bring the cats over or right after you bring the cats over. There any emails back and forth that would give me an idea of what the arrangement was between you two?
I have the emails after the kittens were born, not before.
Let me see those. Let me see those. All right, and so according to you, what you offered was to help with the expenses for the first year, but you didn't state a specific amount?
No.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
And according to you, she said what?
That she would pay 50%.
50%.
She would pay half of all costs for 1 year.
For 1 year. All right. So now, what did you do during that 1 year?
During that 1 year, I would pay a visit occasionally every week. I would give her cash, but anyway, then I would bring her cans of cat food. That was not good enough. She eventually said to me to please check the ingredients on the label of the cat food to make sure it was not a grain or a corn, because it was not healthy, basically not healthy for the cats or the kittens.
That the first ingredient wasn't
It's not
grain
a corn or
that
some
it should
type of
be
grain.
meat. In other words, that the cat needs to be on a low carb diet on South Beach. That the cat shouldn't have too many carbs.
9 Lives was not good enough for her.
Okay.
So I said, you know what? I'm going to stop giving her cash and bringing the food. I started giving her checks.
Okay.
And that's what I did, I believe, from July until that end of the year of April of 14.
So how much money did you give her?
In total, about 300 and change.
And how would you decide how much to bring her? Would she tell you, or you
No,
would just...
she wouldn't tell me. She accepted what I gave her. If she had a problem, she could have told me. I would give her $30 here, $20, you know, like that, when I went to visit the cats.
Did she get the kitties neutered and spayed?
A year later.
You did accept monies from her throughout the course of that year, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And how much do you say she paid?
I believe it's about $350.
Okay. So what is it and the year went from when to when, according to you?
I think they were born April 11th of 13.
So April of 2013 to April
March,
of 2014.
Well, it would be March, the end of March.
And then one of the things you're suing for, though, are vet bills after March of 2014. You're suing for vet bills from April of 2014 to June of 2014. Why would she have to pay that if that's after the year? Because the very specific thing you have all said this whole trial and in your complaint was that she had you say 50% of the expenses within a year, in the first year. And she says, help with the expenses. But before I get to which one of those two I believe, you're suing for expenses that happened afterwards. And my question to you is why?
I don't think that was the understanding that it had to be within the specific...
What did you think within the first year meant, other than the obvious? What did you think it meant?
Okay, I'm just going to ask it. Are cat people generally weird?
I think so.
Why? Why is that?
I don't know. Just they seem to be. I don't know.
Why do you think? Are cat people weird?
I think it depends on how many cats they have.
How many constitutes weird?
4 or more.
Okay, I would agree with you, actually, going inside the courtroom.
Well, as far as the food was concerned, what I'm asking for
is half of the
$1,800. Half of the total.
Do you have receipts that total $1,814.01?
Yes, I have all the vet bills. I have all
No. Receipts that total for food $1,814.01.
Yes, I do.
And your position on that is that if she chooses to give,
premium
farm
food
to table, organic food, and doesn't want to feed them fancy feast, you did your part handing the 30, 40, and whatever else you did.
I helped.
When she was coming by and giving you $30 here and $40 there and whatever else, did you ever say anything to her? Hey, it costs a lot more than that?
I did not say that. We were friends. I expected her to
Where's
keep
the
an
mother
agreement.
cat?
I have her.
You have her?
Yes.
Okay, how's she doing?
She's doing fine.
And the baby cats?
Well, there were 3. 1 got adopted, and I have 2.
Here's the email you sent her from March 18th. Give her the food I brought. There's nothing wrong with it. And you're giving her instructions on how to feed the mama.
May I see that?
Yeah, this doesn't really comment on the issue which I'm trying to decipher, which is what was the agreement. But let's go over a couple things. First of all, why does she have to pay anything after the year pass? I find that you don't. So number one, the vet bills happen after the year, and she's not legally responsible for it. Number two, the cost of the food bills. If you're accepting $30 here, $40 here, and what mere mortals pay for cat food, and then it turns out that what you spent on cat food was $2,000, you don't get to impose that on somebody else. If you wish to feed the cats that way, that is entirely your prerogative. If you can afford to do that, that's fabulous. But that's not something that she agreed to. That's something that you imposed on her, which is why she just started giving you cash. And you never once complained about the amounts that she was giving you. So I can't find that she owes you an additional $1,000 unless you can prove to me that she always said, I will pay exactly half of everything you choose to spend. I don't know what you guys agreed to beforehand. I have no idea, but I know that you can't prove it's your way, which is the only way you can get the $1,000. My verdict in this case is for the defendant.
This is a cut and paste job. What you're accepting as evidence is cut and paste. This is dishonest.
Okay, here's the plaintiff leaving the courtroom right here. Come on out here. This is your last chance to put a cap on this case. Anything else you need to say?
I think I had more than sufficient evidence for the judge to have decided in my favor, and she didn't even let me respond. I think it was very dishonest.
All right, well, good luck with the cats. All right, step on out here. What are you afraid of? You kind of looking.
I don't know. You never know.
You never know what.
I don't know. Something will hit me from behind.
Anything going to hit her from behind, Earl? No. Well, what do you think of the outcome here in that?
Judge Malian was fair. I agree. Look, I presented everything, all proof I had. That's it. Yeah.
Harvey?
Okay, you know, we do this all the time in the show where, you know, we see these cases where people borrow money and, you know, they don't get paid back and whatnot. If you really are loaning something to a friend, nail it down in writing. Even if it's a friend, if you expect repayment, you gotta protect yourself.